course and Unit 5, Entertainment. First part, 5.1, Universally Popular. Our goals here are talk about different genres of film and ing form and infinitive form with to. And we have to work on our vocabulary and listening skills going to the movies. Exercise 1. What are your favorite kinds of movies? And here are types of movies. Pause the video and try to answer this question in a written form. And as you see, you have film genres: action film, comedies, musicals, thrillers, science fiction, animated films, rom-coms, horror films. And now let's check the example answer. And my favorite film is science fiction because science fiction movies are mostly about future and I'm fascinated by future. By watching this kind of movies, you can just learn what kind of life you're gonna have in the future, what the world, what the future may hold for us as species or as human beings, and you can feel the this part of the future and you can just get excited about it. Exercise 2. Work with a partner, look at the film posters. What kind of film do you think each one is? Which film would you probably prefer to see and why? Pause the video and try to do this exercise. Try to answer these questions in a written form. And now let's look at the possible answers. The first one looks like a drama, an animated movie. And I wouldn't like to watch this movie because I'm not that keen on drama movies. And the second one is A Secret Life of Walter Mitty. And it's probably adventure movie because there you have a big plane and a person sitting on it. It's probably something interesting that I would like to watch in the future. Exercise 3. Listen to a review of both films and answer the questions.
Audio 5.1.
The first film we're looking at today is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, starring Ben Stiller and Kristen Wiig, a remake of a classic comedy from 1947, based on James Thurber's book, which was written even earlier in 1939. The film manages to bring the story up to date quite well. Walter Mitty is a quiet man who secretly dreams of being an action hero, rescuing people from burning buildings or travelling into space. Soon, however, his adventures start to become real as he decides to set out on a journey to find a missing photographic negative. The special effects are pretty impressive, especially in the scenes set in Iceland and the Himalayas. But despite a cast with several excellent comic actors, the film just isn't very funny. Kristen Wiig, who plays the woman Mitty is secretly in love with, is just wasted, with no real humour in what she has to say. Stiller's performance is better, but overall, the film's a bit disappointing. The other film we're looking at today is Rio 2096, a story of love and fury. I enjoy going to see animated films with my kids, but to be honest, I'm not usually a big fan of animated films for adults. So I didn't expect to enjoy this one. After about 10 minutes, though, I realised I was wrong. It's fantastic. The film is set in 4 different periods of Brazil's history. It starts in the future in 2096, where a man and a woman, voiced by Brazilian stars Selton Mello and Camila Pitanga, stand at the top of a skyscraper in the middle of the night. To live without knowing the past is like walking in the dark, says the man. Suddenly the film goes back in time, almost 600 years, to 1566, when the Portuguese arrived in Brazil. The man explains that in 1566 he was a Tupinamba Indian attempting to save his tribe, who were all killed when Rio de Janeiro was first built. Having failed to save any of them, including his great love, Janaína, he magically turns into a bird. He will return as a man in the future when he hopes to be with Janaína once more. We then see the couple living through slavery in 1825 and the military dictatorship in 1970 before returning to the future in 2096. It's a disturbing future where poor people can't afford to buy water. But he and Janaína continue to fight against evil as they've done throughout the last 600 years. The plot is a little complicated if you aren't familiar with Brazilian history, but the story is told with such passion that you can't help enjoying it. It really deserved to win the top prize at the 2013 Annecy International Animated Film Festival.
And now let's check the answers together. 1. Which genre kind does the reviewer say each film is? So it's Walter Mitty is comedy, Rio 2096 is animated film. 2. Which film does the reviewer prefer? She prefers Rio 2096. Which film has won a prize? It's Rio 2096. Exercise 4A. Complete the sentences with the word phrases in the box about The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, the film review. Pause the video and try to fill these gaps using the words in a box on your own in a written form. And now let's check the answers together. Secret Life of Walter Mitty. 1. Ben Stiller stars in the film The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. 2. The film is a remake of a film made in 1947. 3. He plays the part of the main character, Walter Mitty. 4. Mitty dreams of being an action hero who rescues people from dangers. 5. The scenes filmed in Iceland and the Himalayas have amazing special effects and show Mitty doing apparently impossible things. 6. Although there are several very good actors in the cast, Stiller's performance is the best. Exercise 4B. Complete the sentences with the words phrases in the box about Rio 2096, a story of love and fury. Pause the video and try to do this exercise on your own in a written form. And now let's check the answers. Rio 2096, a story of love and fury, is an animated film which is set in 3 different periods of Brazil's history. The main characters are voiced by Brazilian actors Celta Mello and Camila Pitanga. 3. The plot is quite difficult to follow if you don't know about Brazilian history. Exercise 5C. Have you changed your mind about which film you would prefer to see? Why not? Discuss your reasons with a partner. Now, pause the video and try to do this exercise. Try to answer these questions in a written form. And now let's look at the possible answers. I've definitely changed my mind about the movies that I would like to watch. It's definitely Rio 2069 because as it seems, it's a science fiction movie. And I love, as I said before, I love science fiction movies. And that's one of the reasons why I would like to watch this movie. And the second reason is I'm really interested in history and I would like to learn something about Brazilian history. Grammar and speaking. ING form and infinitive with to. Now we just have to try to learn how and when do we use ING form and infinitive form with to. Exercise 5A. Look at the extracts from the review and choose the correct form of the verbs ING or infinitive with to. Some verbs can take both forms. Pause the video and try to do this exercise on your own in a written form. Now, if you have finished, let's check the answers together. 1. Walter Mitty is a quiet man who secretly dreams of being an action hero. 2. Soon, however, his adventures start becoming real. 3. He decides to set out on a journey to find a missing photographic negative. What the heck? 3. He decides to set out on a journey to find a missing photographic negative. 4. At the start of the film, we meet the main character, a Tupinamba Indian in Brazil, attempting to save his tribe. 5. After he fails to save them and the woman he loves, he magically turns into a bird. 6. He hopes to be with Janaina and the woman he loves once more. 7. We then see the couple living in 1825 and 1970 before returning to the future in 2096. 8. It's a disturbing future where poor people can't afford buying water. 9. He and Janaina continue fighting against evil. 10. The story is told with such passion that you can't help enjoying it. Exercise 5B. Check your answers with the partner. Now look at your partner's answers and compare your answers whether they're correct, they match or not. Exercise 6. Read the information in the grammar focus box and complete the rules with the verbs or prepositions from exercise 5 with the partner. Pause the video and using the rules, using the exercise, using the sentences that you yourself created, try to complete the grammar focus box. Grammar focus. ING and infinitive with to. ING form. After some verbs, we use the ING form of other verbs like avoid, imagine, finish, miss, recommend, suggest, can't help. As you see, after some verbs, we have to use only ING verb forms in order to be grammatically correct. For example, avoid reading the book, imagine doing exercise, finish doing homework, miss going to mountains, recommend reading this book, suggest going to gym, and can't help laughing. These include verbs expressing likes and dislikes, and as you see, these verbs mostly include likes and dislikes verbs, and they are can't stand, enjoy, feel like, hate, like, love, prefer. We also use the ING form after prepositions, for example, about, after, at, by, in, on, of, or before. In infinitive with to. After some verbs, we use the infinitive with to of other verbs. These include the verbs like afford, agree, aim, appear, expect, intend, manage, need, plan, seem, tend, want, would like, decide, attempt, fail, hope, effort. And now what you have to do is you have to learn all the words, all the verbs, and you have to understand, you have to memorize after which what you should use. And both forms. Some verbs can be followed by both ing and infinitive with to with little or no change in meaning. So note that we don't usually use two ing forms next to each other. As you see, some verbs can come with either ing and two forms, and you have to pay attention to the fact that you cannot put two ings at the same time. And you cannot say, I'm beginning reading the book. I'm beginning to read the book. And the examples or verbs are there: begin, can't stand, hate, like in the synonym of enjoy, love, prefer, start, continue. And the example here is you cannot say, I'm continuing doing my homework. The more correct version will be, I'm continuing to do my homework. Exercise 7a. Work with a partner. Complete the description of the plot of Stepping on the Flying Grass, a film from Indonesia, by choosing the correct form of the verb. In some sentences, both forms are possible. Pause the video and try to complete this review with the grammar structures that you learned just now. And now, if you have finished, let's check the answers together. Stepping on the Flying Grass. A beautiful film about the dreams of village school children in rural Indonesia. Stepping on the Flying Grass is both visually stunning and truly moving. When their teacher asked them to write an essay about their dearest dreams and wishes, a group of village school children began to think seriously about what they planned to do with their lives. Pooji enjoys being useful and just wants to help others. Mei fantasizes about becoming an actress. She spends hours practicing in front of the mirror, but does she really love acting? Or is it actually her mother's dream? Agu's family can't afford to eat any special food at home, but he really wants to eat an authentic Padang restaurant in the city. When an opportunity arises to make some money, he decides to make his dream come true. As the film progresses, he gradually realizes that for dreams to come true, you need to work at them. Exercise 7b. Listen and check your answers. Now you have to listen to the audio recording and check your answers one more time. Exercise 8. Task. Complete the questions with the correct form of the verbs in brackets. Work with the partner and ask and answer the questions. Now pause the video. Try to make the correct version of questions and try to answer these questions in a written form. And now let's check the answers. Do you avoid watching any particular genre of film? If so, which one? Why? 2. Are there any actors you really can't stand watching? Why? Why not? 3. Do you like watching films based on books that you have enjoyed reading? Why? Why not? 4. Have you ever enjoyed a film you didn't expect to like? Why did you change your mind? 5. What do you tend to think is the most important? The plot, the cast, or the script? Why? 6. Are there any films you hope to see in the near future? Why do you want to see them? Now pause the video and try to answer these questions on your own in a written form. And now let's check the possible answers. I really avoid watching horror movies because I'm really scared of them. I'm really afraid. That's why I just avoid watching them because it just changed my character. And there aren't any actors that I really can't stand. I just watch any of them, and there's no reason why I hate some of the things. And I don't care whether I watch the films based on the books I have read, because, well, it's pointless because you watch movies to zone out, to like feel lost, like to lose yourself. That's why it's like there's no need for a movie to be based on some kind of book. That's the end of today's lesson. See you in the next lessons.